thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is currently 3:31 p.m. Central, and you have a live look at an extremely dangerous storm off to the south of Fort Stockton, Texas. This storm is producing golf ball-sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds, and it does have a history of producing land-spout tornadoes. So, if you are included in this severe thunderstorm warning, you should be seeking shelter immediately, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Again, there are multiple reports of land spouts and golf ball-sized hail from this storm, and in addition to that, 70-mile-per-hour winds will also be possible. Alright, this is going to be crossing over 285 here very, very shortly. In addition to that, we got another storm off to the southwest of that, in between Alpine and Marathon, that is currently producing half-dollar-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, so make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows there. And then we even have a storm up here on parts of the Texas Panhandle near Clarendon that's actually developing quite a bit of a supercellular shape here. It's producing 1-inch in diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts, and it may be starting to rotate quite possibly very soon. Okay, so those are the severe thunderstorm warnings we have right now. I would also like to mention that Fort Stockton storm did produce some flooding off to the east of Fort Stockton, and there's still a flash flood warning in effect for a decent portion of Interstate 10 off to the east of Fort Stockton. So if you are in that, stay alive, don't drive, turn around, don't drown. Alright, so the city of Fort Stockton, alright, you're pretty much done for at least this supercell here. You're still getting some sprinkles out of this, but it's nothing crazy. If you're in the general, downtown area of Fort Stockton, you should be fine. Proceed with caution on the east side of town, though, as you are under a flash flood warning there. Again, I'd say our most concerning storm right now is that storm that is crossing 285, the one that did go right through Fort Stockton, as it did produce those land spouts, and it could continue to do so here. So if we see any more land spouts, we may even see a tornado warning out of this storm. I do not believe that we've had any tornado warnings yet today. I could be incorrect, but I don't think we've had any, if I am correct here. We did just get a new tornado watch. Now, this is not a good one. This is a very bad tornado watch, actually. So, that's for this general area where our new severe storm's popping off. I'm going to show you guys this because this is one of the more concerning tornado watches I've seen in a while. Not because of the tornado threat, however. The tornado threat, it's there for sure, but that's not why I'm so concerned about this, alright? If you read the tornado watch, you see it says a few tornadoes possible, widespread hail up to softball size likely. I don't know if I've ever seen that tag before. Alright, I don't know if I've ever seen widespread hail up to softball size likely, and even the scattered gusts up to 75 miles per hour likely is pretty concerning as well. So that does include almost 500,000 people across portions of Texas and Oklahoma here, areas like Childress, Lubbock, Canadian, Perryton. You guys are included in that tornado watch, so if you're in that area, proceed with caution over the next few hours. Last night, we did have a extremely unexpected, violent tornado outbreak across parts of Oklahoma. Kind of like the last one. Not expected, but this one was even more unexpected. But we did have strong, damaging tornadoes yesterday. And we also had a tornado that we did get on stream, actually, that was up here in Kansas. Because I couldn't go live for the Oklahoma ones, unfortunately. But in Kansas, we did have one that did touch down and unfortunately did cause a casualty. It was a drill bit tornado. That was off somewhere in here. It was one of these little towns. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but I do remember it did go right through a town, unfortunately, in Kansas. Alright, so again, we're dealing with some pretty active severe weather right now, so if anybody has any questions about their location, make sure to leave those down below in chats. I would like to quickly point out our storm south of Fort Stockton is beginning to rotate quite a bit again, actually. Give me just a second here. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the stream here, so if you have any questions about your location, make sure to leave those down below. Hello, Fix It Trex Edits, and Patrick, sorry, I can't speak today. So, again, this storm is starting to rotate a little bit more now, off to the southwest of Highway 285. Again, all residents in this warning should be taking shelter on the lowest floor of a building away from windows. Again, this is off to the southeast of Fort Stockton at the moment. Currently, this is near the Round Mountain area. But as I was about to say, tomorrow we're going to be live here again, because tomorrow we now have a slight risk of severe weather in place for parts of Texas and Oklahoma here. Alright, this does include Altus, Vernon, Wichita Falls, Brownwood, and Abilene, and it also includes the eastern portion of San Angelo, Texas. San Angelo, actually, it looks like the main part of the city is included in that, okay? So San Angelo as well. And the reason I'm going to be going live for this is because if you notice, there's kind of a massive marginal risk around this. We're going to be talking about severe weather all the way from Michigan back down into Texas here, potentially, because what is going to happen here is the tornado threat is going to be elevated for quite a decent chunk of the country here tomorrow. 32.8 million people have a 2% chance to see a tornado in their town tomorrow. We really got to zoom out far here to only look at the major cities because it would take forever to list off every town in this. But areas like Austin, Dallas, and Texas, all right, we head up there towards Oklahoma City, goes through Topeka, Kansas, all the way back up towards Chicago, the west side of Chicago anyway, and then the south side of Madison, and then also Des Moines up here in the Midwest, all right? So we've got a pretty large area under an increased tornado risk tomorrow. In addition to that, okay, we have a tornado warning now, and that is for our storm that I did mention southeast of Fort Stockton. It is starting to rotate a little bit better again. And there you go. So we now have a tornado warning. Everybody in this polygon needs to take cover now. This is rotating pretty well. Again, this is our first tornado warning of the day. Right now, the brunt of the rotation is centered around the Round Mountain area. I am going to go ahead and play our warning sound here just to get anybody's attention that has this on in the background that needs to know about this. So I'm going to go ahead and play that right now. Whoops. I always forget to mute my audio. All right, now I'm really going to play it.
A new tornado warning has been issued. Take cover now.
Okay, so a new tornado warning has been issued. That is going to be for the southeastern portion of Fort Stockton here, off to the south and the east of Fort Stockton, really. This includes a chunk of Highway 285 here near Round Mountain. We have a rotating supercell that has already had a history of producing multiple tornadoes up closer to Fort Stockton, or at least one landspout tornado. It may just be multiple reports of the same one. But now it's trying to do it again here near the Round Mountain area, so we really got to watch this. Again, this is not good. I'm actually going to go ahead and call up Mr. Storm here and see if he can go ahead and break this down with me. Alright, I'm calling him up. So hopefully he can join me here. I know he's been pretty busy lately though, so. Again, there's your tornadic circulation southeast of the Round Mountain area now. This is going to be crossing over Highway 285 here very shortly. Alright, he did not pick up. That's alright. Alright, so, again, if you're just now tuning in, we do now have a tornado warning for Round Mountain, Texas. This is a rotating supercell capable of producing a tornado near Highway 285 at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and update the stream title here. Again, this is breaking. Alright. So, again, if anybody has any questions about their location for the next few days of weather, feel free to leave those down below because, I mean, we're talking about a ton of areas getting impacted, not just today, but again, over the next few days, really. Let's go and take a look at the Killeen, Texas cyclone port here. We see it's a very dreary day out there in Killeen, and unfortunately, it's only going to get worse as that severe weather threat ramps up. We'll bring up Norman, Oklahoma as well. We can see kind of a contrast, actually, for that region. It's a nice sunny day, but all that's going to do is boost our instability in this area and make it easier for storms and tornadoes to form, unfortunately. So, the Norman, Oklahoma City area, we're going to be watching for kind of a more evening to overnight hours threat. We'll also bring up Burlington, Kansas. And there we have our wall of webcams. Man, I miss the German Texas cam. If you're not aware, that was a cyclone port up in northwest Texas for a long time. It's gone. And it would have been really useful for a couple of these past Texas-Oklahoma events. Especially today. For sure. Oh, we do have our storm chasers out there today as well. Currently, we've got Corey Gherkin and then also Vince Welty and Brandon Kopic live chasing the storms right now. They're kind of all centered around portions of southwest Kansas and northwestern Oklahoma because we're going to be watching. Actually, I imagine the reason they're doing that is so that they can head down to these storms here in the Texas Panhandle and West Oklahoma because, again, these storms do not look good. Especially for that hail threat. Once again, the tornado threat's not anything incredibly high. I mean, it's there, but the main thing we're going to be watching is very large hail and damaging winds. Again, there's a couple areas starting to develop rotation with that supercell near Clarendon, so we're going to have to watch for that to potentially get a tornado warning as well. That's a very impressive supercellular shape and quite a bit of inflow in there into that storm as well, near Highway 287. So you got to look out for that. It's a very serious storm. Let's go ahead and take it back here to our storm near Fort Stockton. Okay, this is taking quite a hook echo there, as you can see. It's definitely quite a big hook echo. Actually, it looks like this was kind of two different storms, and this is not the one that produced the landspouts up there in Fort Stockton. I'm really not aware because I just got home, so. Whenever we have a big event like this going on, I always end up having to go live as soon as I get home, which has been the case for the past 2 weeks or so. Every day. So, I would appreciate a subscription to the channel. It's not required, but it is free. Oh, Mr. Storm is calling me. Here we go. Hello.
Hey, you called me?
Yeah, I was just I'm live. I was wondering if you were able to do coverage with me.
Yeah, I got you.
Alright, thank you. Alright, everybody, this is Mr. Storm here. We got a tornado warning right now.
Alright.
It's down in Texas. Alright, new velocity scan here. Still showing a decent amount of rotation south of Round Mountain. We do have a new special weather statement, it looks like. Oh, wow. Since the start of the stream, we've gotten 5 more. We started the stream with 1, and now we're at 6. And we only started 12 minutes ago. So things are ramping up here, guys. Mr. Storm, I don't know if you saw, but one of the tornado watches that is in effect says widespread hail up to softball size likely.
Oh my gosh. Wait, but... Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Why is the softball?
Yeah, widespread hail up to softball size likely.
That's like the most aggressive tornado watch, but with hail that I've seen.
That's kind of what I was saying. I'm very concerned for that area and that tornado watch, but not because of the actual tornado threat. I mean, the tornado threat's there, but the hail threat, I mean, that's really bad. I think I may have only seen that one other time. Sometime I remember it saying DVD-sized hail, but widespread hail up to softball size is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, there was pretty decent rotation near Fort Stockton.
Yeah, that's our tornado warning storm. Holy cow! Somebody's playing Twisted with a server that has a significant tornado parameter of 15 and a violent tornado parameter of 4.
Oh wow.
And an SRH of 662. That would be a crazy server to play on.
Yeah. So we only have 1 tornado warning at this point?
Yeah, if you look, though, the storm up closer to the Clarendon area in the Texas Panhandle, it's rotating a little bit, and it's got a very impressive supercellular shape on reflectivity, you can tell. Very discreet. It's got a lot of room to grow. It's east of the dry line. You can actually see the dry line pretty clearly on radar. You got... It was 3 a.m. You got 170. What does that say? Whoops. New severe thunderstorm warning, everybody. That is going to be in effect for Jeff Davis, Pecos, Reeves, and Brewster counties in Texas. That's an extension for a storm off to the southwest of our big one. Make sure that you are moving indoors there and away from windows. That does include a chunk of Highway 67 off to the southwest of Fort Stockton.
Have you seen Ryan's hurricane forecast yet?
No, I saw that just released, and I'm going to watch that right after the stream because I'm excited for that.
Can I watch it with you?
Yeah, have you watched it?
I have, but I wanted to watch it with you anyways.
Okay, just don't spoil it.
I won't. I'm not going to say a word about what he says.
Alright. Dude, I remember watching his hurricane season forecast last year. That does not feel like a whole year ago.
Yeah. It's a big storm near Clarendon.
Yeah,
Texas.
that's the one I was talking about. It's rotating a little bit. It might get tornado warned.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that impressive, but it looks like it could start rotating more.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also kind of got another mode of storms down in Florida that I haven't really mentioned yet, but they're kind of popping off, actually. There's a few that are special weather statement warned. We got some gusty winds and small hail associated with those. That's going to be impacting pretty much the entire state of Florida.
I think the storms in southern Missouri are really going to pop off because if you look at the Heartland Express cam, it's reading 91 degrees. So
Wow, where's that at?
that's in southeastern Missouri, right by the Boot Hill.
Oh, wow, there's one that's 95 degrees in southeast Missouri.
Wow.
But the dew point's only 62, which, I mean, it's there. There's definitely a potential for some strong storms, but it's not like a super high dew point.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap, 95 degrees in Missouri? In early May?
This is...
That may be a glitch, though. I kind of looked, and it looks like it's like a weird shape on the temperature graph. Oh, maybe not. That was just the wind chill graph. Wow. So, yeah, we're talking about temps, and this has fallen a little bit, actually. It was about 96.5 degrees. It looks like the temps are starting to fall there, but...
Yeah.
That is crazy. It's been a hot day up here in central Illinois.
Yeah, yesterday, or it might have been 2 days ago, but, yeah, I think it was 2 days ago. It was 85 here on Long Island, but it's still in the 70s today. Tomorrow we might get back up to 80.
Yeah, it was in the low 80s today, and now it's in the high 70s here today for us, which is almost like hot, especially because it's also like really sunny. It's not like it's a cloudy day.
Yeah, we have a lot of clouds here, but that's just because we have some passing showers.
All right, so a quick update here on our tornado warned storm south of Fort Stockton. Continues to rotate off to the west of Highway 285. Again, this storm does have, or a storm just off to the north of it did have a history of producing a landspout in the city of Fort Stockton.
That's not good.
Luckily, there's no damage reported. Apparently, there were 2 landspouts, but neither of them have any reported damage with them.
Are you using the Midland radar or the San Angelo?
The Midland.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So it does look like it's got some more tight rotation.
And if you look, it's kind of got a little bit of a hook echo. It's nothing crazy, but it's definitely got some form of a hook there.
But definitely no CC drop yet.
Nope.
But, oh, yeah, that does have a hook echo. It's also warned for a 1.5 inch size hail, so that is ping pong ball size hail.
Yep. Cheese curd sized hail. I was making a joke I was pranking him last night. I just kept making up all these random hail sizes, and I was like, have you heard of soda can sized hail?
Yeah, I was like, what? Volcano in Columbia, Tennessee is reading 90 degrees.
Wow.
But then if you go into like northern Mississippi or Alabama, it's like in the lower 80s.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, right now in central Texas, it's only 76 degrees. But to be fair, a storm did just roll through there that did produce some rain cool air.
Yeah, I mean, the air just, yeah.
I know we had a viewer in Houston yesterday. It's 82 degrees in Houston right now, and wow, there's a pretty ominous cloud over the League City cam.
There's a huge storm that's right now it's still in Mexico, but if it goes into the United States, I'm sure it'll get severe warned.
Yeah, I saw that. By the way, our tornado warning storm is now up to 2-inch size hail.
Okay, so this is a strengthening storm, which is not good because that means obviously rotation most likely will strengthen.
I do have another update on this, by the way. As of 1 minute ago, well, maybe a few minutes ago, but as of 1 minute ago, this warning was updated to say an emergency manager reported a funnel cloud with this storm.
Okay, so now we know this is trying to produce a tornado. It's no longer just rotating, but we have a funnel that's trying to drop down.
Yeah, there's a confirmed funnel cloud now, or at least there was with this storm. We don't know if it's still there, but luckily it does look like the hook echo's kind of losing some steam, but it is, I don't know.
Yeah, I see that. Velocity just got a lot more weaker.
It kind of bumped into another storm.
It did. That might help us avoid a tornado, but we just gotta keep covering this thing.
Yep.
Fort Stockton is under a flash flood warning at the moment, but that should expire in a few minutes.
Yeah, and that's only for the eastern portion of the city.
Yep.
The far eastern side. Oh, wow. Okay, so our storm in the Texas Panhandle near Clarendon just got upgraded to tennis ball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. So if you guys are in Howardwick, you need to be taking shelter right now. That is, if either of those threats get upgraded, this is a destructive, severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, and keep in mind it does have the tornado possible tag on it.
No, it doesn't.
What'd you say?
No, it doesn't. That's a different storm.
That's for the one that's tornado warned, right?
No.
Yeah, I see one that's south. The one that's south of Fort Stockton. That's warned for 2-inch size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
Yeah, but there's one in the Texas Panhandle. Remember the one that we said earlier was rotating a little bit? It's tennis ball-sized hail. Hello, Tornado Edit. But yeah, 2.5-inch hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. You guys should be taking cover there.
Yeah.
Again, that's heading for Howardwick.
Stay indoors, away from windows.
Yep. And preferably on the lowest floor possible whenever you got 70-mile-per-hour winds.
You don't want a tree crashing through your house, and I don't want to be like brutal about landing on you.
Yeah, I mean, 70-mile-per-hour winds. I did not see the short yet. Sorry, I forgot about that. But yeah, the 70-mile-per-hour winds, that's no joke. There's, trees that can be falling. Power lines can be downed easily. We could see some structural damage to some weaker structures. Speaking of which, mobile homes, if you're in a mobile home, you should probably get out of there and find a more substantial structure, because mobile homes, they're not built to withstand 70-mile-per-hour winds or tennis ball-sized hail. So putting those threats together, your mobile home does not have a very good shot of being okay in that.
Yeah, and if you're in a semi, you gotta pull over right now, because 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts can easily roll your semi, and there's been millions of stories of truck drivers that they're driving through a severe thunderstorm, or if it's like a tornado with just very strong RFD winds, and they get rolled and then they get seriously injured. So if you're a truck driver and you're driving a high-profile vehicle, you want to pull over. But it's just a tough situation if you're stranded on the road, because you also have the very large hail. So really, what the best thing you can do is to get indoors, away from windows.
Yeah, so if you're on Highway 287 there, you need to be finding a shelter to take place in. And really, even if you're not in a high profile vehicle, it's still going to be dangerous to drive in that because semis, again, or semis, I don't know if it's a Midwestern thing, but I say semis. But yeah,
Oh,
semis or semis, however it is that you pronounce that, even if you're not in one of those, one could get rolled while you're on the highway. So you need to be finding a more substantial shelter there. And by the way, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning all the way out in Georgia.
wow.
So these storms that I mentioned earlier in Florida, this one in southeast Georgia kind of just popped off, and it has just reached severe limits near Brunswick and Santilla shores. 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds will be associated with that storm. Make sure that you are getting indoors.
Looks like Jacksonville's gonna get in on some storms later tonight.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, Florida, I mean, they're going to get some storms today. They're not going to be anything crazy, but... Alright, so we still got a rotation or a tornado-warned storm, but it's much less so. Again, that little cell merger there kind of crashed into our big storm and kind of killed it, luckily.
Flash flood warning, I don't know if you mentioned that, but that was just issued for the storm.
Yep, there it is. So now portions of 285, even though the tornado threat is diminishing, now you've got a flash flooding threat to worry about. So turn around, don't drown, or as I like to say, I don't know if I heard this somewhere or I just started saying it, but stay alive and don't drive.
Yeah, I've heard people say that before.
And by the way, that storm did just receive a new severe thunderstorm warning that is once again for golf bowl sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. So again, even though the tornado threat is diminishing, this is still a very nasty storm. Make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows, and preferably on the lowest floor possible. Again, if you're in a mobile home, try to get out of there and find a more substantial structure. If you are on the highway, make sure to get off there. Oh, wow. So, sorry, what'd you say? What'd you say?
The storms in northern Texas are literally moving northeast, but literally north and northeast. It's a weird direction.
Yeah, some of our big-time tornadoes last night in Oklahoma, they were moving southeast, and then all of a sudden they turned and moved northwest, and it literally felt like I was in the Twilight Zone because I was like, that's just not how it works. How did that happen?
Yeah, that's weird.
And, we do have a new... Okay, I was just about to mention that. I was just about to say this storm in the Texas Panhandle is rotating. We now have a tornado on the ground heading for Clarendon.
Alright, so this is now real. This is tornado on the ground. Oh, wow. Velocity is very tight.
Yeah, I was literally just about to mention that, and then the warning got issued. Alright, so we're now dealing with a tornado on the ground. Clarendon, please be getting to your tornado safe spot right now. This is a very populated area. And unfortunately, the tornado is going to come dangerously close to there. And again, this is a confirmed tornado. This is not radar indicated. This is an a law enforcement confirmed tornado.
For some reason, it's not coming up on my thing.
That's weird. And this is also warned for tennis ball sized hail.
Oh my gosh, that rotation is just...
That's nasty.
Wow. That looks impressive. I'm getting winds. Look, at least low level winds that are almost up to 80 miles per hour.
Yeah. It's,
What are you using?
I'm using Amarillo.
I think it's contamination, but I'm getting winds over 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's contamination down there to the south.
Yeah, definitely. Baseball size hail with this thing. This thing is
No,
so
tennis
strange.
ball. It's tennis ball.
It's tennis ball?
Yeah, 2.5 is tennis ball.
Oh, yeah. Nasty hook echo.
Yeah, this is, again, a storm actively producing a tornado. Again, that's a confirmed tornado.
But that velocity is so tight.
It's cloudy where you're at right now, and it rained a little bit. Yeah, Yeah, you're in the Houston area, if I remember correctly. It is pretty dreary out there. I looked at the Dickinson cam earlier outside of Houston, and it's just nasty out. Real muggy. New severe thunderstorm warning has been issued now for our storm. That's kind of for a different storm, actually, that's kind of formed ahead of this thing. That's heading off towards Mobini. That's going to be producing ping pong bowl-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, so make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows there.
There's no good radar site to look at for the correlation coefficient.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really need that, though, because we know this is on the ground.
Yeah.
Again, this is law enforcement confirmed. I'm going to double box here with the velocities and the reflectivity. We did actually have a drill bit tornado. I said this at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, you are under flood watch earlier. But I did say this at the beginning of the stream, but Mr. Storm was not here. The drill bit tornado yesterday in Kansas, unfortunately, did end up having one fatality associated with it. There was a drill bit tornado that went through Westmoreland, Kansas. I found the town name now. It's Westmoreland. That was a tornado that killed at least one.
Was that the one you sent pictures of to me?
No, that was earlier in the day. I got that one on stream.
Okay. I know we both don't like pre-rating, but what kind of idea would you get?
EF1, EF2. I think the only reason that death actually occurred was probably because it went through a decently populated area. There wasn't too much of a warning ahead of time. I mean, again, it went right through the town of Westmoreland, Kansas. And it's not a huge town, but it went right through the middle. So.
What about the one in Oklahoma?
Oh, there were a few in Oklahoma. But the big one, I mean, EF2, EF3, similar to our last Oklahoma outbreak, it was unexpected. Nobody expected that.
Yeah, I mean, I went to bed thinking that we were set and, we were fine, but...
Yeah, Mr. Storm and I were calling, and then pretty much as soon as he had to go, I saw a massive PDS was on the ground in southwest Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma just could not get a break. I know Oklahoma is the tornado state, but, like, seriously.
I mean, velocity's not that strong, but it's tight.
Yeah, and again, this is confirmed to be producing a tornado.
This is most likely still on the ground.
You going to sleep?
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you, tornado edit. I will try to remember the short.
That's going towards Clarendon or Clarendon?
Clarendon.
Clarendon. Excuse me.
Texas edits that tornado that's on the ground right now. I assume that's the one you're mentioning. Again, we don't know exactly how strong it is, but if I had to guess, it's probably going to be on the weaker side of things, but every tornado is a dangerous tornado, so please be getting to your tornado safe spots here on Clarendon and Howard Wick.
Tornado.
It's crazy that we haven't had an EF5 since 2013. Yeah. I mean, the other day, we got close. We had an EF4 in Oklahoma. We had multiple EF3s in the plains, like Nebraska, Iowa. We had some strong.
We're lucky the streak is still not broken, but I feel like one of these days a monster's just gonna come out, and I mean, you just need that, like, gut feeling. Like, there's some particular tornadoes that it's like strong, it's definitely up there on the Fujita scale, but EF5s just hit different. Like, you get that gut feeling, like, this is, like, going to be historic, like, no doubt in your mind.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like the tornado seasons are getting more and more violent every year.
I know, I mean, that's definitely a trend where, even if we don't see an EF5 in a long amount of time, doesn't mean that tornado season is, like, winding down. It just means that we're not seeing the strongest, like, tornadoes ever, but we're still like year by year, we're still getting more frequent EF4s and EF3s.
Well, and even so, there are some tornadoes that would be EF5, but there's some structure. Most towns just don't have structures that are built to withstand EF5 damage. So, I mean, even out of the event recently, it wouldn't surprise me if we may have had one EF5 or something, and the only reason it didn't get rated EF5 was because there were no structures for it to hit that could sustain EF5 damage anyway. So, just because it's not rated EF5 doesn't mean it didn't have EF5 wind speeds.
Yeah, like Mayfield, El Reno, if they were, sorry, not El Reno, Mayfield and Rolling Fork, if they were rated by wind speed, they would be EF5s.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the two big ones. And then again, I even think about our new one that happened in Oklahoma the other day, because it was EF4. But yeah, I mean, like, I really do feel like tornado seasons are getting more and more active every year. I mean, last year was crazy. We had multiple EF4s. Again, one of them was on a borderline EF5. And then even like 2022 was insane. Again, that was even more crazy. We had 4 EF4s. I mean, and then obviously 2021 was ridiculous with Mayfield. So the past few years have just been ridiculous. Yeah, EF4s are still devastating.
Yeah. It was 2021 where we had an EF3 or an EF4 in New Jersey. That was crazy.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned that a few streams ago. You were there. They were like, there was a tornado emergency in New Jersey one time, and I forgot about it, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was just insane, like how violent that thing was.
Yeah, Rolling Fork was devastated. Texas Chili Ball edits after that tornado.
I forgot who, but some storm chaser, I think, nicknamed Rolling Fork like the monster or something.
Oh.
Because I think, like, well, I just think that all the storm chasers that were on it just, like, were like just amazed by how intense it was.
By the way, you guys, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's gonna be from Roberts, Ochiltree, Hutchinson counties, as well as Hansford counties in Texas. That's up here in the Panhandle. That's another storm that's starting to rotate as well. And by the way, I know we've been talking about old tornado stories, but we still have our tornado on the ground here, most likely.
Yeah, velocity is very tight at the moment.
If anything, it's getting stronger. We're talking about winds of 40 miles per hour against winds of 70 miles per hour, so our gate-to-gate shear is about 110. But again, that does not mean, I have to say this every time, but that does not mean the tornado winds are 110 miles per hour. That means the gate-to-gate shear is. Mm-hmm. The biggest tornado you've ever seen was EF4. I hope I never see anything bigger than that. You know, it would be a dream to be a storm chaser, but I don't know if I'd want to get caught in a situation like that where there's that violent of a tornado.
Yeah. Oof. Keep in mind, we still have an enhanced risk for today, so this is not something that is unexpected. It's kind of playing out how we expected it to. I mean, most of these severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings are in the enhanced risk, so it's just something that we're not being surprised about.
Yeah, for sure. So again, we've had a tornado on the ground now for actually several minutes, and it's continuing here. Again, this is near Clarendon, Texas. If you're in Clarendon, you need to be in your safe place. Hopefully the sirens are blaring there. Again, we do have a tornado on the ground heading in that general vicinity. It may not go right through Clarendon. My guess is it's going to go in between Howardwick and Clarendon, but anywhere in that polygon, you should be taking cover. And in fact, this is going to go dangerously close to the northwest side of Clarendon. So we're waiting for this next radar update here. Should be any second now. Again, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. We still have our tornado warning in southwest Texas, but that's probably going to be allowed to expire there. It expires in 6 minutes, and it's in a rural area, and it's also not even, a confirmed tornado, so we're not really focusing on it. How far from Houston is the tornado? This tornado is nowhere near Houston. This is in the whole other side of the state. I know that the title, tornado warning in Texas, probably makes everybody in Texas panic, but, I mean, Texas is massive, so Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yes.
So, again, our storm is continuing here. That is producing a tornado. The hook echo is even becoming more impressive, I would say. This kind of started off as a weak little tornado, but we could be getting to, a more dangerous kind of tornado here. I mean, again, all tornadoes are dangerous, but... What were you going to say?
I probably will end up doing a documentary on that tornado outbreak we had a few days ago.
Yeah, mine is, I'm going to be posting that today, so. And our velocity couplet here, surprisingly, the reflectivity's got more impressive, but the velocity couplet has just died. So that's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like nothing.
Look at how dramatic that drop-off was.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is weird. And then even on reflectivity, it's not that bad looking. It's just...
I will say, sometimes there is a radar glitch where if you're in a very specific certain spot, a portion of contamination will not just, mix in with the velocity couplet, but completely overtake it. So that may be what's happening here. We may still have some strong rotation, but we just can't see it, but... Yeah. So again, even if that tornado has lifted, I mean, it was on the ground for quite a while. Luckily, it did not end up going all the way to Clarendon. Because Clarendon is massive.
87 in Charlotte.
Wow.
Right now. 91.
I mean, it is just hot today.
91 degrees in North Carolina on May 1st. Like, what the heck?
And funnily enough, even if you go to Ryan Hall's camp in eastern Kentucky, it's only 76. Like, the drastic difference.
Yeah, like here, I think right now it's like 70.
Yeah, it's about 78 here in central Illinois. And by the way, the one that reads 94, it was even high, or 91, it was even higher a few moments ago. It's starting to drop as we do enter the evening time hours, but it was at like 93 degrees in North Carolina, which is crazy.
Today we got up to 74, tomorrow 77.
Yeah, today I know we got into the very low 80s or the very high 70s. We're still sitting at about 78, 77. Am I in third grade classroom? I don't know what that means. Are you in a third grade classroom?
Gene Anderson wrote that. Yeah, it's 81 degrees and cloudy right now where I live.
Yeah, you're from the Houston area, if I remember correctly. And yeah, the Dickinson one is showing 82 degrees right there in Texas, in Houston right now. Oh, wow, okay, so the radar glitch that I was talking about on the velocities was actually what happened. We still have strong rotation here.
Okay, so never mind what we said about it dying out.
Yeah.
It would be weird if it went from, like, really sharp rotation to just absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I really did think it was the glitch, and it was, because it just looks like every time, like that happened last night too. I don't know exactly why that glitch happens or what it's actually referred to as, but I know that it does happen sometimes, and it definitely messes up a lot of the weather warning process.
Everyone watching the stream, we have 5 people in this right now, so please subscribe to Davis. He's so close to 1,000. Road to 1K, baby.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And hit that like button on the stream. Right now we're at 13 likes. Let's get this stream to 15 likes. That's the challenge.
Alright, so again, if you're just now tuning in, we do have a, okay, it has been updated. It's still observed. So there's still likely a tornado on the ground here near Clarendon, Texas. So again, to repeat, we have a tornado that's been on the ground for quite a while now, actually, near Clarendon, Texas.
This could be a little bit more of a stronger tornado than what we first expected.
Yeah, and by the way, our other tornado warning has expired in Southwest Texas now. And we now do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's for Andrews and Gaines County, Texas. That's for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds for the city of Andrews. This is an extension for a storm that was originally special weather statement warned, so it is strengthening, and it has now gotten severe warned again for the city of Andrews, Texas.
Doesn't look like anything's going on near Dallas right now.
Yeah, Dallas is good. I will say, though, the Killeen, Texas cyclone port, it is getting soaked right now. Alright, new velocity scan on our tornado warning storm. We still got very impressive rotation there. Again, still likely a tornado on the ground.
Yeah.
No sort of debris signature, though.
One time when you were in California, it got up to 114. Yeah. I've been to California. It was like 118. It was crazy.
I've never been to California.
Oh my gosh, it's so hot.
Especially if you go to, like, Death Valley. I know Death Valley is the hottest place in North America.
I was near Death Valley. I was like, I don't know how many miles away I was, but I know I was in the general vicinity of it. And I think the high was like 115 or something.
Death Valley just keeps breaking records every year. I mean, it got up to, like, over 130 a couple of times this year. It's the second hottest place in the world. The only other hottest place is, I believe it's in Africa, or either Africa or Asia. But yeah, I mean, it gets hot in some spots of the United States, and then it gets cold in others.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through Death Valley, and the high was 125. Wow.
That's just, like, melting.
That's just like melting. I mean, in those temperatures, you could, like, if you have a black car and you put, like, a piece of cheese on there, it'll start, like, sizzling.
Yeah, I've seen videos of people that, like, even if it only gets to, like, 100 degrees, they'll be able to cook up, like, a grilled cheese on the hood of their car or something.
Yeah, AccuWeather's summer forecast came out today.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, so far what they're saying for me is just dry and hot conditions.
Getting all these updates today from forecast. The hottest I've been in is 120 in Arizona.
You were in Arizona?
No, not me.
Oh, somebody else.
Yeah. I've never been that far west. And the furthest west I've been is Texas, so.
Yeah, but I've officially been coast to coast. I've been to the west coast of California a few times.
Wow. Alright, new velocity scan here. Still likely a tornado on the ground near Clarendon, Texas, somehow.
Come on, guys, let's subscribe and like the stream. Davis is 22 subscribers away from the big number.
I remember last year, literally every summer forecast was saying my area was in the severe zone, and I did end up getting the massive derecho last year, so I'd say they were all correct. And that wasn't the only big storm we got last year. It was crazy in the summer. Usually summer's more calm in my area in terms of storms. Usually spring's where it's at, but last year's summer was crazy. I'm quickly going to grab a tissue. I'll be right back. Can you just keep commentating?
Yeah, I got you.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, so velocity, not that strong as far as the rotation with the severe warning in Clarendon goes, but still pretty tight, so like David said, we most likely still have a tornado on the ground. The warning does end in 9 minutes, so we'll see if they reissue one. But I would say there's actually a pretty good chance this is lifted at this point, but just still got that potential to be on the ground.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay.
I just had to grab a Kleenex. I got a cold.
Yeah, I have just terrible allergies. It's so bad here. It's like crazy.
Yeah, I was sick the day that I had to go to my storm spotter training class, and luckily I was still sick when I went to it, kind of, but I was just well enough to go.
Oh, wow.
I mustered up the strength, because I was like, I'm not missing this, because they don't have them near me.
I think the tornado near Clarendon has lifted at this point.
I don't know. It was never really that impressive, so it may still be on the ground. I'm going to wait for this next velocity scan.
Yeah, this will pretty much tell us. Oh, there it is.
This could definitely still be on the ground, quite possibly. And it actually took a pretty far dive to the east. If this is on the ground, I mean, this is going to go right through Clarendon. So we'll see reports out of Clarendon if this is still on the ground. It's got a pretty impressive hook echo on reflectivity. It's a very classic supercellular shape there.
Yeah.
The heaviest rain we've got was by Hurricane Harvey, no doubt. I've never heard of Hurricane Harvey. Do you know about Hurricane Harvey?
Yeah, I do. I forgot what year it was in, but I remember it was
2017.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad. That was a major hurricane.
That was before I was into weather. I mean, I would have only been 7 years old, so even if I may have heard about it back then, and I just forgot about it, because, I mean, every year there's hurricanes.
Yeah, the only reason I know about it is because I study hurricanes a lot, so.
Yeah, it looks like it was a pretty intense one, though. It was Cat 4, 130 winds, and it formed all the way back on August 17th and didn't dissipate until September 2nd.
Yeah.
107 deaths, $125 billion in damage, tied as the costliest tropical cyclone on record. Well, there we go. I didn't know that was a record-breaking storm. 125 billion in damages.
I think it's tied with Isaac.
It might be. It says tied as the I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, because Wikipedia also has Isaac as the latest.
Yeah, it looks like Harvey was pretty intense, though.
I'm getting my hurricanes mixed up because I just feel like there's no way Isaac was more costly than Katrina.
I don't know. I mean, it feels weird that a hurricane that I've never even heard of, it's not even Cat 5, is tied for the costliest hurricane of all time. But I believe it. I believe it, but I just feel like it's weird.
I'm gonna look that up and see. Thank you for whoever just liked the stream.
Yeah, Harvey was devastating. Yeah, it must have been, especially because you're not too far away from where it actually made landfall. All right, new velocity scan here. It kind of looks like this is weakening out, and if it did it at a perfect time right before it hit Clarendon, luckily. But again, this could still be on the ground, and even if it's not on the ground, it could easily recycle, so stay in your tornado safe spot. This is going right through Clarendon right now. Again, it took a southeast dive.
So the costliest cyclone on record was Katrina, which was $197.5 billion in damage.
Holy cow, that's more than Harvey. Maybe Harvey
Harvey
was
was second.
maybe if you adjust for inflation, but still, it was only 7 years ago.
Yeah, Ian was third with 117.
All right, new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued now. Hall and Briscoe counties, Texas. That's for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's our south of our tornado warning storm. That does include Memphis and Lakeview, so make sure that you are getting indoors there. Yeah, I mean, the Wikipedia page, I mean, anybody can edit Wikipedia pages, so, I mean, that could be incorrect information.
Yeah.
I actually edited, I don't want to say I co-authored, but I worked on the tornadoes of 2024, the most recent outbreak, the big one. I wrote a little bit on that, and it's still there. It's not gotten removed, so. Sorry, I'm breathing out of my mouth, everybody. I always forget when I'm doing that, and then it's really annoying on stream.
Wait, did somebody actually try and report your channel?
Yeah. By the way, we do have a new tornado warning now. Down to radar indicated, but wow, apple-sized hail.
Dang.
That is massive. So, new tornado warning has been issued now. This includes areas like Clarendon and then Lelia Lake, but luckily it's starting to get into a more rural area again. 2024 tornado season has been kind of active. Yeah. For a second, I thought your chat message said hurricane season. I was like, the hurricane season hasn't even started yet. But yeah, the tornado season has been pretty active, especially considering we're not done. By the way, new mesoscale for our severe thunderstorm watch in southwest Texas. Severe thunderstorms, threat of very large hail, damaging winds, and 1 or 2 tornadoes continues. That's until 5:30 p.m. for parts of southwest Texas. So, now then, oh wow, we're up to 13 likes on the stream. I guess your call out to action did work.
Yeah, I think mine has 14.
Wow. So now that we don't really have any confirmed tornado on the ground anymore, I think what we're kind of going to do here is wrap up. The reason I'm doing this is because I know it's going to probably happen again later. I doubt this is going to be our only tornado today. So I want to be live for all the big tornadoes, but I can't be live for, a 6-hour period at once, unfortunately, all right? I'd love to do that, and hopefully I am able to do that one day for a career. Be a new Ryan Hall whenever Ryan Hall is 60 and he can't do this anymore. But unfortunately, I do have time constraints. So I think that we are going to end off the stream here. Mr. Storm, do you have anything else to say here before we end off?
Just stay safe out there. But yeah.
All right. So yeah, as you said, make sure that you are staying safe today, especially in parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. We got our storm chasers out there, so hopefully they're going to do their best to keep everybody safe. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you guys all in the next live stream. Peace.
Peace.